This episode contains discussions of violence, trauma, and coercion. Listener discretion is advised. Two assassins, two warriors forged in secrecy, trained to strike from the shadows. One was created by the Red Room, an elite Black Widow operative with a talent for deception and lethality, Yelena Belova. The other was raised in the shadow of a legend, carrying the legacy of her mother and redefining justice in her own way, Silk Spectre. Both are deadly, both are brilliant, but only one can emerge victorious. Tonight, we break down their skills, weapons, and mindsets. Who has the superior combat training? Who has the deadlier arsenal? And in the end, who wins when the world's deadliest spy faces off against a legacy vigilante? Every assassin has an origin, a defining moment that transforms them into a force of nature. Yelena and Silk Spectre II both inherited their roles, but the paths they walk couldn't be more different. Yelena Belova was created for this life. Trained from childhood in the Red Room, she was engineered to be the perfect Black Widow, just like Natasha Romanoff before her. But where Natasha sought redemption, Yelena embraced the brutality of her training. Cold, precise, and unpredictable, she became one of the deadliest operatives in the world, striking from the shadows and eliminating her targets without hesitation. Unlike Natasha, she doesn't hesitate, she executes. To Yelena, the mission isn't a question of morality, it's a matter of efficiency. Silk Spectre II, Lori Jaspesic, was born into it. As the daughter of the original Silk Spectre, she grew up surrounded by masked heroes, but her path was anything but straightforward. Trained by her mother and shaped by a world that didn't always welcome heroes, she developed a unique blend of strength, combat prowess, and strategic thinking. But Lori isn't just a fighter, she's a survivor, using her wit and experience to outmaneuver opponents and strike where it hurts the most. To Silk Spectre, fighting isn't about orders, it's about control. And with that, the advantage goes to Yelena Belova. Both women are deadly, but Yelena was built for this life from the ground up. Her training, discipline, and sheer ruthlessness gives her the edge in preparation and execution. When it comes to hand-to-hand combat, both Yelena and Silk Spectre are highly skilled, but they fight in very different ways. Yelena Belova's fighting style is precise, brutal, and efficient. She was trained in multiple martial arts, specializing in grappling, joint manipulation, and lethal strikes. Her movements are calculated, designed to incapacitate an enemy in the shortest time possible. She has the agility of a Black Widow, the ruthlessness of an assassin, and the adaptability of a spy. Silk Spectre is an unpredictable brawler. She uses a combination of boxing, kickboxing, and street fighting techniques to overwhelm her opponents. Unlike Yelena, who fights with deadly precision, Lori uses raw power and adaptability, turning the tide of a fight through sheer will and intelligence. She doesn't just hit hard, she hits smart. Yelena is a surgeon with a scalpel. Lori is a street fighter with a hammer. And the advantage here goes to Silk Spectre. Yelena is more refined in her technique, but Lori's unpredictability, adaptability, and sheer resilience make her dangerous in a prolonged fight. If the battle goes the distance, Lori has the edge. Both women have operated in the shadows, but when it comes to deception, one has a clear advantage. Yelena is a master of infiltration, disguise, and psychological warfare. As a Black Widow, she was trained to blend into any environment, manipulate targets, and strike before they ever realize she's there. She can vanish into a crowd, assume new identities on the fly, and use deception as effectively as violence. Silk Spectre, on the other hand, is no stranger to deception, but her strength lies in manipulation through charisma rather than covert espionage. She knows how to read people, twist the situation in her favor, and use her presence to command attention. But compared to Yelena, she lacks deep cover training of a spy. Silk Spectre can play the game, but Yelena wrote the rulebook, so the advantage here goes to Yelena Belova. Lori is a master of psychological manipulation, but Yelena's ability to infiltrate, deceive, and execute a plan with military precision gives her the upper hand in a stealth-paced encounter. When the gloves come off, who has the deadlier arsenal? Yelena comes armed with military-grade weaponry, firearms, knives, explosives, and widow gadgets designed for silent, efficient kills. She doesn't just fight, she neutralizes threats before they ever become a problem. Silk Spectre, by contrast, relies on traditional combat tools, knives, batons, and her fists. While she is deadly with her bare hands, her arsenal lacks the high-tech precision of Yelena's. Lori fights with raw power. Yelena fights with an armory. So with that, our advantage goes to Yelena Belova. Lori's strength lies in hand-to-hand combat, but Yelena's access to high-tech weaponry and assassination tools gives her the firepower advantage. So what happens when Yelena Belova and Silk Spectre go to war? In an all-out battle, it's a clash of precision and adaptability. Lori would push forward, trying to break Yelena with sheer willpower, while Yelena would set traps, control the battlefield, and wait for the perfect moment to strike. But in a prolonged engagement, Yelena's superior training, weapons, and deception give her the final edge. Lori is a survivor, but Yelena was born to kill. And with that, our winner this time is Yelena Belova. Two warriors, two assassins, two different philosophies of battle. Silk Spectre proves that experience, adaptability, and resilience can turn the tide of any fight. But Yelena Belova shows that when the mission is survival, precision wins the day. Thank you for joining us on Revenge and Madness. Who should we break down next? Let us know. And remember, in the world of assassins, hesitation is the difference between life and death.